Lohan Saludia is a disciple of Bodhidharma. What do I have for you? Well, this is a poem. I remember when we were reading the table of contents, I was concerned that how good a job did I do? This is one of those poems. I get all these ideas and concepts. You got to remember, when I get a poem, it's not that I see every word like it's written out in my head. I just see frameworks and little bubbles, like you're putting a magnifying glass on it, and I can kind of see, words and phrases and rhymes and getting pictures, ideas. So I kind of see all kinds of things when I'm making a song, and it's always different. Every song's got a different inspiration, but anyway, I see oftentimes a lot of stuff and sometimes not that much. But anyway, we'll take that on a song by song basis. But anyway, as I was mentioning when we were reading the table of contents, this is a poem that I thought was I had an interesting metaphor on, being in the book return, a return book type of thing. So, how can I make that into some sort of life metaphor? So I don't know how well I did. So anyway, no guarantees. Let's see. Book return. My poetry makes you think. Most people use poetry to point at a smell and call it stink. At Los Angeles poetry readings, I read for other poets for free, who read to us about their feelings. My five-soul theory may seem harsh, but I believe it's worse to be pursuing a mountain to climb in your mind while living in a lowly marsh, using what from marsh life you know to imagine the mountain life you have yet to find. Then you share your ignorance with us from deep inside your not a poet soul that wants to be daycare applauded for really not caring what you're sharing. That is totally boring to us. I like what I said. I'm not sure if I read it as good as I could. Because when you're reading and performing poetry, it can, you can take it to other levels. And I'm not doing that right now. I'm just kind of reading it a little mundane. But I can tell that. Anyway, here we go. Mr. Critic here. Okay. Better not be throwing stones from a glass house or whatever, right? Here we go. Somewhere, acting like an actor, unaware of any professional acting goal, repeatedly they steal the actor's seat in our daily life path bus. You're wondering why there's not talent sitting back there? Remember, you took their job. You blocked the real actor from us. As everyone no longer realizes we can be whatever we want to be, or I have it in kind of weird quotation marks, we can be whatever we want to be. After years of only having to show up for the consolation prizes. What is it? Oh, that rhymes with realizes. All right, me and my interjections. Let me read that again. As everyone no longer realizes, we can be whatever we want to be. After years of only having to show up for the consolation prizes, who's the best? Teacher won't tell. That would be acknowledging someone did better than the rest. Today's female teachers expect everyone to pass. There are no losers, say our transgender preachers. Where am I coming from on that one? Hold on, I'm just gonna blast through this. If I make commentary and questions, I haven't read this in a long time. I may start at the beginning of that stanza, paragraph, whatever it is. Who's the best? Teacher won't tell. That would be acknowledging someone did better than the rest. Today's female teachers expect everyone to pass. There are no losers, say our transgender preachers. The female school board says, every kid's a winner. You can now be rewarded for being a bad-mannered, foul-mouthed daycare ass. Now, where did they go? Oh, they rhymed with pass up there. See, like I said, if I anticipated the rhymes, maybe a bit more emphasis on the words. But yeah. See, I put some effort into it. It's like, well, I expect to see a rhyme. When I don't, there's got to be usually a very good reason. Here we go. Continuing my book return rhyme. Haven't gotten any book returns yet. Haven't talked about any books. Well, we're talking about kids in school, so a little closer to book returns. Okay, let's see what we got. This is our last page, and this is a 3-pager. See, normally when I write a song, it can be printed out in sometimes 1 page, but definitely always in 2 pages. So anyway, when I see a 3-page poem, of course I leave some space there, but anyway. I expect more of myself. All right, here we go. Let's see how I sum this book return one up. All right. Okay. All right. In today's matriarchal world, you have to be tardy to be a sinner, because there are no patriarch rules to help children develop their morals. Kids now learn to be the laziest avoid working tools. They would never accept a horrible job requiring earbud removals. Hey, don't worry about it. They wore them every day the past 6 years in school. Earbuds. Millennials have truly learned that all it takes to earn your laurels is make sure at the end of the semester all your books are all returned. Whoops. I got one more paragraph after that. Let's read that one again. It's carrying the weight of the whole preceding poem in terms of justifying our title. Let's see. Here we go. Millennials have truly learned that all it takes to earn your laurels is make sure at the end of the semester all your books are all returned. The morals of millennials and all the wisdom they did learn are in the book return. I mean, I remember the period when I wrote this, but am I saying that basically everything that they were given in terms of knowledge they gave back, or it's like it didn't soak in, like washed off, or it never left the book? Anyway, we'll have to look at that poem another time. I'll have to look at that poem another time. What the heck was I saying? Well, sometimes I'm expressing something, you know. I got my angst, and I can't afford a psychiatrist or therapist or anything. So what I do is I unleash my demons on you. I write stories and poetry and songs and music, and all the bad emotions that I might have just kind of come out with all the good stuff and the creative stuff and the exciting stuff and the whatever stuff, and it just kind of, I am purified. I guess that's a weird way of looking at it, but it's kind of true. You know, it's not like I just take any bad energy and use that to write a song. You know, it's like it all blends together. You know, so. Which is why I think I'm always happy when I'm suffering, is because I got so much, fortunately, happy stuff soaked into my body that when things do go bad, I can kind of overwhelm it a little. Oh yeah, let me get out of here. Buddha Z. Overwhelming reality. you.